First time I will try to play it without any tension, which is really difficult, and the second time with tension. And with tension.
The same notes can tell vastly different stories depending on how they're played. Like a piano, the sound of a classical guitar decays, but we have the ability to shape the sound while it fades. We can add many different kinds of vibrato. Everything about the right hand affects the tone color in 1,000 ways. Add to that timing, emphasis and articulation, and the possibilities are really endless, with any piece of music. This might be overwhelming, but it's really a good thing. It means we have a remarkable palette of expressive tools. Borbála Seres explores many of these tools in her tonebase video on phrasing and articulation. Watch the entire video on the platform for free if you sign up for a 14-day trial now. Link is in the video description.
Hello everyone, I'm Borbála Seres, and I will talk to you today about the musical expression, how you can develop the different musical characters and directions. So we have different musical tools to express ourselves musically or our musical ideas. And as you will see, each tool will have a different effect on the musical material what we are playing. But in my opinion, the bottom line that you want to express something with the music what you are playing. We can express with them different emotions, feelings or moods or even some character or sometimes also a whole story. So I would say that music is just like a speech in general. And when we are speaking, we always articulate everything what we want to say. So sometimes we speak faster, sometimes slower, or we emphasize a couple of words, or we take different breaths. And this has to be the same with the music. So we have to formulate always everything what we want to say with it. And this is crucial. So the use of these different tools is really very important to be able to express ourselves musically good. So, which tools we have? We have the followings. We have the tempo. We have different tempos, fast, slow, in between, many different possibilities. So, also for the development, we have the accelerando or we have the ritardando. As another tool, we have the dynamic, the volume. We have different volumes. We can play loud with forte, we can play with piano, also in between many different possibilities. And for development, again, we have the crescendo or the opposite, the decrescendo. We have as tool, which I find very important, the tone color. We have an instrument which is capable of playing different tone colors, which I find really beautiful since we can imitate different things, also different instruments, and sometimes also a whole orchestra, which is, in our case, is really important because we have many pieces, which has very orchestral places. So the tone color is one of the most important, I would say. We have as a tool also the accentuation. The accentuation when you want to highlight something, you want to highlight a melody, the main melody. So we have also different elements which we can use for that, but also different art of plucking. We have the tirando and the apoyando, and with apoyando you can give for the voice a bit bigger resonance, so it will help you to highlight the melodies which you want to show. The next one is also very, very important, the articulation. Articulation, as I mentioned, when we are speaking, we also articulate. So with the music, we always have to be careful not to play everything always in legato. Legato is beautiful for singing, but we have also many, many different articulations like staccato, portato, tenuto, whatever, and you have to combine them. You always have to use the best way to express what you want to express with them. The last one is the phrasing, the tension, or it's also the breathing. I would say the phrasing, it's also necessary. It's necessary to know where are the bigger phrases, where are the bigger parts in the pieces, what you're playing, to be able to keep the tension the whole time, to guide the listener with you. And also the breathing is crucial, since it's a delicate issue in our case, because our instrument, I mean, for the instrument, we don't need to take breaths, but sometimes this is the problem for guitarists. They just forget to take breaths, and then we could easily suffocate, and this is not good. I don't find it good. So we always have to be careful that we are breathing, and we are breathing properly. So I would recommend to you always to make recordings, since with the recording you can listen to yourself back from outside, and you are not busy with the technique. And you can have a better opinion if it was okay or not. Was it enough? Was it not enough? So breathing is also crucial. I brought you a couple of examples to demonstrate all these differences. And I tried to make it very simple, so only for single tools to make the differences. But of course it was very, very difficult, since we always use a combination of these tools. So I will show you a couple of examples. You will hear the differences. So first, for the tempo, I will play the beginning of Oremus of Tárrega. And as you know, this piece has a very, very slow tempo. Tárrega imagined it in a very slow tempo to get the character deep, painful, deeply painful. Sometimes also it's written on the score, lento religioso. So it's a really deep and painful music. So you could hear with this slow tempo and with the dolce tone color and also with the flexible tempo, it became really quite painful. But we know that this piece is originally not Tárrega's piece. So it's Robert Schumann's opus 124 Fantasy Tense. And Schumann imagined for this piece a very fast tempo. So with this tempo, it will become completely different. The character will be completely different. It will be like hurrying or running somewhere, or like you would be late from your train or something like that. So I play you with this faster tempo as well. So I am sure that you could hear the difference. It became completely different with this tempo. So we always have to figure out what we want to say to fit the tempo for this idea. Also for the development of the different tempos for accelerando and ritardando, I want to show you a short part of Arada of Borba. And here I will play this small motif first with accelerando and second time with ritardando. And the ritardando. You could hear the difference. The first one, it had more like development feeling, and the second one it was more like calming down or closing the musical material. And probably you could hear that the next measure I played completely different. So when you want to develop, then you open it, then you make also the crescendo. And when I want to stop something or close it up, then I just came back with the volume as well. So this is the thing that you always have to mix them, so I cannot show you only single tools actually. The next example will be for the dynamic, for the volume. I will play the beginning of Fandanguillo of Borba, and first time with forte, with loud volume, and the second time with piano. The first one, the fourth one, it was much more temperamental. And also with the piano volume, we increased again a bit more uncertain character, let's say. So it was not so sure, not so temperamental, as you heard probably. And I want to play you for volume development, the arada, and the same section, and first time with crescendo and second time with decrescendo. So actually this volume difference increased again the same feeling. The first one was more for development, as I mentioned, and the second one for calming down, closing the musical material. So for the tone color, I will play you a Carcassy study number 9 of Opus 60. And first time, to make it really simple and for extremities, first time with dolce and second time with quite secco tone color. So as you heard, I was cheating again because I cannot make only dolce. I was using different tools like vibrato, also the glissando, to be able to express this character which I wanted to express here, this caring mother or worried mother, you know, and they are very soft. So this was the first one, and the second one is the secco. And it was completely clear how the character became very different. It was more like silly or playful, like a child. I imagine here a child. Or it could be even sarcastic. So with the secco tone color, and if you add plus the staccato articulation, since you heard that I was using again different tools as well, it's impossible to do without that. You could reach a very nice different character for this musical material. For the accentuation, I brought you a short part of Fandanguillo of Toroba. For this place, for this musical material, I imagine two different personalities. The same motif comes first in the bass and then in the upper line. And the first one, I imagine here a male character. It's like a man, and therefore I use the appoggiando to achieve this louder tone, which mostly men used to have. And also I played with a bit secco tone color and with fortissimo volume. And the second time I wanted to achieve this female character, so therefore I will play it quite quiet, so with piano or mezzo piano, and I use tirando, and also very nice tone color, dolce tone color. And then later on, of course, I will combine it with appoggiando to highlight some of the notes, but the basic idea, appoggiando and tirando. So it was again very clear that first we emphasized the bass, it came very nice out, and then second time the upper line with tirando, it was much more female character. As a second example, I want to play you the short part of Asturias, of Albanese, and first time I will play it with tirando and second time with appoggiando. I want to highlight here the bass, and you will hear the difference. I'm very sure that you heard the difference. The second time it became much more powerful. So we could emphasize with this apoyando much better the line which we wanted to show the melody.